Sometimes, the most heartbreaking moments on screen weren't the result of creative twists or shocking writing choices, they happened because the actors themselves wanted out, whether it was due to personal reasons, career changes, or just the need for something new. Here are 10 actors who actually asked for their characters to die, forever changing the shows they starred in. Samira Wiley, Orange is the New Black. Pusey Washington was the heart of Orange is the New Black, and her death in Season 4 caused an uproar. But behind the scenes, Samira Wiley was ready to move on. While the show's creators had planned a major death to spark a new arc about prison reform and injustice, Wiley agreed it was time to say goodbye. Her death wasn't just emotional, it was symbolic. It sparked protests, changed character dynamics, and left a mark on viewers and the show's legacy. Christopher Eccleston, Doctor Who. When Doctor Who returned in 2005, Christopher Eccleston reintroduced the world to the Time Lord in a darker, more emotionally complex form. But after just one season, Eccleston announced he would not return. He cited issues with the working environment and his desire to avoid being typecast. As a result, the 9th Doctor regenerated into the 10th, ushering in the David Tennant era. Though his time was brief, Eccleston's Doctor left a lasting legacy and proved the show's regeneration mechanics still worked wonders. Chyler Leigh, Grey's Anatomy. Lexie Grey's death in the devastating plane crash episode is still one of Grey's Anatomy's most heartbreaking moments. But Chyler Leigh had requested to leave the show to focus on her family and personal life. Rather than fade her character out, the writers gave Lexie an emotional send-off, dying in Mark Sloane's arms. Her final moments were poignant and raw, resonating with fans long after the credits rolled. Leigh later expressed gratitude for the way her exit was handled. Josh Charles, The Good Wife. No one saw it coming. Will Gardner shot dead in a courtroom in the middle of a regular episode. Fans were left stunned, and social media exploded with reactions. But Josh Charles, who played the charismatic attorney, had made the decision to leave after 4 seasons. Tired and ready to move on to new projects, Charles asked to be written off in a powerful way. The writers obliged with a sudden, violent end that shook the foundations of The Good Wife and its main character, Alicia Florrick. Isaiah Washington, Grey's Anatomy. Dr. Preston Burke was a key part of Grey's Anatomy's early seasons, but his abrupt departure left fans wondering what happened. Behind the scenes, Isaiah Washington had been involved in a controversy involving a homophobic slur directed at a co-star. Although Washington initially returned for Season 4, he and the show mutually agreed it was best for him to exit. While not a classic "I want to die" request, Washington did consent to his character being written off, and years later, he returned for a brief appearance to give closure to Burke's storyline. David Duchovny, The X-Files. Mulder abducted by aliens? As wild as it sounds, the real story behind David Duchovny's character's disappearance in The X-Files was grounded in off-screen conflict. After years of playing FBI agent Fox Mulder, Duchovny became embroiled in a lawsuit with Fox over syndication profits. He also expressed a desire to step away from the show. The result was Mulder's mysterious abduction and reduced presence in later seasons. Though he returned for guest spots and the eventual reboot, his absence was keenly felt. Mischa Barton The O.C. In the world of teen drama, few characters were as iconic as Marissa Cooper. So when she died in a fiery car crash in the Season 3 finale of The O.C., fans were crushed. But the decision wasn't purely a creative one. Mischa Barton had asked to leave the show. Burned out and eager to pursue film roles, Barton wanted an exit, and the writers delivered. Her death shook up the series and marked a turning point in its tone and direction. Dan Stevens, Downton Abbey. Just when fans thought Matthew Crawley and Lady Mary would finally live happily ever after, tragedy struck. But the shock of Matthew's fatal car crash in the Season 3 Christmas special wasn't just a dramatic twist. Dan Stevens had asked to leave the show. With his contract up, Stevens wanted to explore new roles beyond the period drama. The writers granted his wish in the most dramatic fashion possible, giving fans a Christmas episode they'd never forget. Dean Norris, Breaking Bad. Imagine willingly stepping away from one of the greatest TV shows of all time. Dean Norris did just that. As the relentless DEA agent Hank Schrader in Breaking Bad, Norris was pivotal to the plot. But when the 5th season was split into 2 parts, Norris asked creator Vince Gilligan to kill off Hank in the first half so he could commit to another show. The result? One of the most intense and emotional episodes of the series, Ozymandias. Hank's death wasn't just a plot point, it was a turning point. Patrick Dempsey, Grey's Anatomy. Few deaths in TV history hit as hard as Derek Shepherd's. When McDreamy was killed in a car accident during season 11 of Grey's Anatomy, fans were stunned. But what many didn't know at the time was that Patrick Dempsey had asked to leave the show. After 11 seasons of playing one of television's most iconic doctors, Dempsey cited burnout and a desire to spend more time with his family and pursue racing and other projects. His departure reshaped the series and left fans grieving a fictional loss that felt all too real.